Hello, Gooners. I'm going to try and talk this morning in the UK. I'm pretty knackered. Probably like the Arsenal team after that very impressive display against Newcastle last night. One of the things that came out of that game is that Arsene Wenger was praising Ben Arfa, who of course scored the opening goal for Newcastle in the game. He was praising him in his programme notes. So that's making some of us think that perhaps he's going to make a move for Ben Arfa. A few years too late. He should have got him in instead of Nasri. That's what I was saying at the time while the game was progressing. Of course, the game progressed pretty well. If you're Theo Walcott, that is, if you're a Theo Walcott hater, went very badly indeed. Because what are you guys going to do with yourselves now? Now that Theo's actually starting to play pretty well. Well, he's been doing it almost consistently, you might say, which is difficult for a winger. But his first cross early on was nearly converted, and of course, Robin van Persie had a few chances to score, but Newcastle managed to keep their goal intact. And as well as Newcastle, we were up against Howard Webb, and Arsenal fans, the way they feel about Howard Webb is basically, I think they believe he's a Manchester United supporter, and he may well be. I don't know. I've not done any real research on Howard Webb, but every time he's at the Emirates, he certainly isn't a homer. He's quite the opposite of that, and he was very lenient during this game, and Newcastle were making the most of this because they're quite physical as a team. Not quite Stoke City, but you know what I mean. Um, anyway, Alex Song got whacked early on by Tiote, and there was no card shown for that. And then I was keeping an eye particularly on Ben Arfa, as I felt we should have signed him. He's left-footed as well, so he could have played on the wing. And when we signed Nasri, that was the time when we could have got Ben Arfa. But obviously now, if we try to buy him in the summer from Newcastle, it's going to cost an awful lot more. But anyway, he beat Chesney at his near post for the opening goal. Thomas Vermaelen was at fault there because he gave the ball away. Theo, of course, raced up the other end to set up Robin van Persie, who calmly took his chance to make it 1-1, and then Robin van Persie and Theo combined once more, but this time Van Persie shot over the bar. But I was noticing the Ox was very quiet in the first 20 minutes or so. The first noticeable foul came after that. Howard Webb finally blew his whistle for a foul to Arsenal, which was kind of him. And then, anyway, we always say about Van Persie, he scores when he wants, but he must have only wanted to score once last night, because when he took his free kick, he whacked it straight at Krul. And of course, we don't know what else he whacked straight at Krul, because there was an ongoing row between the two of them throughout the match, between Van Persie and the Newcastle goalkeeper. Whether it was conducted in Dutch or English, we don't know. But anyway, hopefully there'll be no more repercussions from that. Robin van Persie did get a yellow card, so he did get some sort of punishment. So therefore, he shouldn't be punished anymore. But Theo certainly was on fire. He got the Man of the Match award, not just from me, but he also got it from Sky Sports, and he even showed a developing football brain, beating two players not with pace but with skill. So I was very impressed with him. And indeed, at half time, Alan Pardew replaced the left back, and I thought the left back did reasonably well, but he put on a new left back who also failed to snuff Theo out. That was Perch. James Perch came on for Santon. But Santon, he managed to look as if he was matching Theo for pace at one point when Theo knocked the ball past him. But Santon did use a bit of physicality again to prevent Theo from getting to the ball. But Newcastle were very sporting. Of course, they stopped play at one point when they didn't have to. An Arsenal player, Koscielny, I think, went down after a bar foul, which the referee failed to see once again. But they stopped play when they could have gone on and taken advantage of Arsenal's lack of players. But when Arsenal had the chance to do it the other way, they continued to play. So you have to wonder about how sporting our club is. But anyway, then Theo continued to play well anyway in the second half. I was noticing Alex Song's passing was a little bit top heavy, kept over-hitting the ball. Did it three times. Sometimes really good ideas were coming from his brain, but his execution wasn't quite right. And it really was looking to me like a game that it didn't matter how long it went on for, that we would just never score. But luckily, we got an extra 5 minutes at the end. and then we did manage to score that winning goal. Thomas Vermaelen, courtesy of Thomas Vermaelen. How he managed to race from one end of the field to the other, I will never know, especially with a calf injury. Again, another knock that might prevent him from playing in the next game, but luckily the next game's not for a while, and that's against Everton, so it's more than a week till we play our next game. And I found it very interesting, Arsene Wenger's substitutions. I didn't think they were the best of all time. He took Oxlade-Chamberlain off when Oxlade-Chamberlain was just getting into the game, brought on Gervinho, who prior to the game, Wenger said was looking jaded, so it makes you wonder why he came on. Rosicky was having a very good game, very strong in the tackle. He had a good chance to score. Theo set him up, but he missed. It was a bad miss, but apart from that, Rosicky had a very good game. And not quite sure why he took Rosicky off either to bring on Ramsey. Ramsey struggled really to make a big impact. He did okay, but certainly didn't play as well as Rosicky. But then again, most of the team didn't play as well as Rosicky. I have to mention Gibbs at this point. I thought had an excellent game. Koscielny got booked very harshly at one point, and I was wondering then if Howard Webb was going to send an Arsenal player off. And then Van Persie and Gervinho both went close, but fluffed their lines. And at this point, I was really feeling, we need the 3 points to put us 1 point behind Spurs in the race for third place. Unbelievable we're saying this, but suddenly more unbelievable happened when Theo crossed and Van Persie and Ramsey went up for the ball. Both didn't connect, but put off the Newcastle defence, and the incoming Thomas Vermaelen bundled the ball in. And what a goal. And Theo, man of the match with 2 assists. And the most incredible thing about this was Arsene Wenger saying he never doubted that Arsenal would win this game. And, well, it makes me wonder if I should believe more in this team as well, as much as he does. But when there's only a few minutes remaining, it's very difficult to believe that you're going to pull a rabbit out of the hat. But that's exactly what the conjurer has done. So instead of Le Professeur or Le Professor, he's now Le Conjureur to me. Arsene Wenger, well done. Despite your questionable substitutions, managed to pull a win out of the hat when it looked impossible. And of course, 1 point behind Spurs, anything could happen. Let's hope Arsenal go on to finish third this season. That's enough for me now. Whatever you're doing, have a good one.